Hi girls, it's Chef Karen. I really miss you girls. I miss you. I think about you every day, and I hope you are all well through this very difficult time that we're going through. I know we're going to get to the other side, and before you know it, it's going to be over. We'll be together again. But in the meantime, your chocolate chip lovers are probably really missing some chocolate chip cookies. So I'm going to go through a quick and easy recipe with you right now. It's very simple. So for your younger girls, please get permission from your mom, or do it with your mom, and make sure that she knows when you're doing it if you have permission to do it by yourself. That goes for you older girls too, because you know what? Safety's safe. Please make sure somebody knows that you have the oven on and you're putting something in it. First thing I want you to do is get your mise en place ready. So that means you get all the ingredients and you get them ready. You measure them out. I have them in small bowls, so this way that I could just go through the recipe with you. Preheat your oven. Put it on 375. Bake. If you have long hair, please put it up in a ponytail. Wash your hands. Happy birthday to you twice. And then I'm going to put on some gloves. So I'm going to use a mixer, but if you're not using a mixer, this part works just as well with a wooden spoon in a bowl. You could mix it all together. We're going to take 2 sticks of butter, and we're going to put them in the bowl with 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and we're going to put a teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you are using a mixer, we're going to use the paddle attachment, not the whisk. This is the paddle for my little mixer. I don't know what your paddle looks like, but it's probably very similar. And then we're going to close the bowl down. I'm going to lock it. Safety, safety, safety. And I'm going to let this go. Not too fast, because it's going to fly all over the place. We don't want that to happen. The more it mixes, the faster you can put it. And in the meantime, while that's going, we're going to take 2 1/4 cups of flour, and we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. When you measure your baking soda, we want to make sure that you do it flat, okay? Put it in with your flour and a teaspoon of salt as well. Don't put too much salt. Make sure that it's flat. And then just take the spoon and mix it together well, because you know what? This way, once it hits the wet ingredients, it kind of might stick. So we want to make sure that it gets well distributed and all your cookies are going to rise together and you're not going to get any salty spots. So we're going to keep mixing that, but in the meantime, this is starting to look a little creamy. So I'm going to pick this up, see how it's getting, and I'm going to put 2 eggs in there, very carefully now. You don't want to get your shells in there. You might want to do the egg into a bowl first and make sure you don't get any shells. And then we're just going to pour that in the mix. See, I can see that there's no shells. If there were shells, I could pull the shell out before I put it in with my butter and sugar and ruin the whole recipe. So I'm going to pour them into the bowl with the sugar, the sugar and the butter and the vanilla. And we're going to mix this slowly at first, and then we're going to make it a little faster. So this is looking pretty fluffy now. You want it to look a little fluffy and a little creamy. And if you don't have a mixer, that's okay, because you can do this in a bowl with a wooden spoon, or any spoon for that matter. Just keep mixing until it all gets creamy looking, and it will. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stop the mixer, and we're going to add some of the flour. You don't want to add it all at once, because you're going to get a big puff of flour flying up in the air. Put it on very low. And once it starts mixing into with the butter, you can turn it up a little bit. And you see that there's no more loose flour. We're going to add some more. And we're going to let that mix in. And we're going to turn it up a little bit. And we're going to mix a little bit more in there. Low speed at first. And then as it gradually gets into the butter, you want to make it go higher. So I'm just going to stop it for a second. And I'm going to get the batter off the sides. Once this is all mixed together nice, we're going to add 2 cups of chocolate chips. I like the semi-sweet chips. You might like milk chocolate. You might like the minis. You might like the big ones. You know, everybody's different. So we want to, you know, it's up to you what you want to put in your cookies. You're the chef. I think you could even probably put M&Ms in there. That will work too. And then, look, it's getting really nice. I'm going to show you in 1 sec. Okay, ladies, you see how it looks? It looks like chocolate chip cookie dough. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a tablespoon. You could use a measuring spoon. You could use a regular tablespoon. I personally like to use a cookie sheet pan. And we're going to place the cookies on the cookie sheet pan. I put 3 across and then 4 rows down, and that kind of equals a dozen. I got 12 cookies on my sheet pan. My scooper is a little bit bigger than a tablespoon, so it might take a little bit longer, but you can bake them in about 10 minutes. These will probably take a little bit more, maybe 12 to 15. I'm going to put them in the oven very carefully. And then what I like to do is I like to use my phone as a timer. I take the timer with me, and I'll always know when I have to check I'll check them in 10 minutes, and then if I could add more time if I need to. Okay, girls, we're back, and our cookies are just about ready. I just wanted to let you know, if you have a cooling rack like this is a great idea to use this. You can, we're going to go take them out of the oven. Very carefully. This is very hot now. Look how beautiful they look. They look gorgeous. You put it on top of the cooling rack. Now, you want to let them sit for at least 2 minutes. I know most of you girls like them when they're still very warm, so instead of taking them, you could take them off the sheet pan and put them right on the cooling rack once after that 2 minutes and let them get cooled all the way. Or you could put them right onto the plate and then you can enjoy them. I hope this has been informative, and maybe we'll do muffins next time. Goodbye for now, and take care of yourself. Stay safe and be well.